And this work here is actually the combination of 18 years of pieces taken out of context and put all together, and who knew there was so much more reflective of water.
So I made this piece to get to know my grandmother a little bit, who crossed the sea from Ukraine to Montreal in 1899 when she was 15 years old. And she came on her own and left her homeland and started a new, turned out to be very short, life in Montreal. So it's really for her and honoring all the women before and after her who've left their home or homeland for supposedly a better life, which they may or may not have found. And all the materials are locally sourced on beaches around Victoria, except the cloth, which is a linen table runner that belonged to my other grandmother. And I thought I would just bring them together to meet each other.
Oh.
This is a story of how I've gone from growing up in Montreal, and each move I was always had to be near water. Was it with Calgary, even the Glenmore Reservoir when my kids took sailing lessons, and then Victoria and Salt Spring Island. So it's my story going from coast to coast.
Single drop of water. So this piece is just like, it's just so amazing. A single drop of water is so amazing. The gravity that pulls them together, if you put two drops close to each other, how it reflects, how it turns into a circle, from a solid looking thing to a circle, to how it picks up the lights around it. So a moment of mindful appreciation of a single drop of water.
Recent trip to Japan. It's Hiroshima, and it represents the black rain that came down after Hiroshima. And within that, I have within it like a journal from the day that we went to Hiroshima, and I was actually surprised at how overwhelmingly emotional it was. And at a later date went to visit some friends that had cactuses, and so I kind of embedded the cactuses sort of in her belly because they have amazing patterns. And so it was to repeat that we're constantly repeating our same old patterns, and it's scary. And so that's sort of that fire just underneath her. There's something frightening about it.
I am also a ceramics person, and I love sea urchins because to me they are exoskeletons that hold vessels of food for animal and human consumption. And when they crush up, they turn back to sand and earth, and so does clay. So that's the relationship for me. But the other thing that I was thinking about when I was making it for this series was that if we find urchin shells, and please feel free to pick things up. If you find urchin shells that are empty like this, it's telling us that the sea life that fed on urchins that were overfished or killed from environmental change were not feeding on the urchins anymore, and then the urchins started overfeeding on the kelp forests, and we were having decimated kelp forests. Now with some changes that are going on, and particularly here, the sea otters coming back. If you find an empty shell like this on a beach, it means that we're doing our job right, and something's eating up these gorgeous little creatures so we can have our kelp beds back. That's what this is about.